Hey everybody, welcome to week 8, final week of the first part of the semester. So in this topic, you guys know we're discussing the problem of scale, and according to Dr. Livingston, scale refers to the actual size of the population, the physical size of the territory in which needs to be governed, all of those types of things. And so when it comes to the problems of scale, and you really look at back to the question how that factors into the government's ability to effectively operate, meets the need of the population, that type of thing. I think it comes down to the type of government in which is operating in that area, and how you're able to connect with citizens, whether that's forcefully or through democratic methods. Dr. Livingston, as you guys I'm sure heard, discuss things like the natural political order, looking kind of Aristotelian. The influence of the government's kind of a lot smaller. It's at the will of the people, that type of thing. And then you have the unnatural side from Hobbes, which is where the influence and power is large. It has to be large, and it's not just with a king, which is what he argues for in the physical form, but looking at the power and influence of the king in terms of the office that he holds. And so people are subject to its will, as opposed to the natural, where it's at the will of the people. And so really both kind of have pros and cons, problems and solutions when it comes to back to the idea of scale in a large territory. Let's say you have a large territory and a large population. When you're looking at the more natural way, the more democratic Republican way that you kind of focus in, that has buy-in. It has people wanting to be a part of the conversation. We represent that. We have that in our country today, where people engage in the political process through voting, through actually being a part of the government, being elected, politicians, that type of thing. But they're a part of the process, so that can bring buy-in. But the issue is, if it's too large and you don't have that connection, you can lose out, especially as you get farther away from the physical power center of that physical territory, and where you have what Hobbes referred to as worms kind of eating away at that. And so, kind of flipping to the other side, if you have a large territory, things like that. Large population, Hobbes says that having that one person making efficient decisions very quickly, that is going to help keep people in order. They know the rules. They can operate within themselves, as long as they're not too vocal against that power, that source of power, that authoritarian power. And so when you look at the problem of scale, looking at these two forms, it is very difficult to kind of see which one's better, but they both cause problems, but they also cause solutions. It's a lot more efficient to have the Hobbesian way of running a country, controlling a population, making sure that your territories are protected, things like that, because those are efficient, quick decisions that can be made. But in terms of having that internal order and that buy-in of the population, and having everybody truly being on board, especially a large population truly being on board, that is where you are going to have politicians. You're going to have the local governments who are run by common people coming in. Now that can lead to, as Dr. Livingston also talked about, issues with more charismatic leaders that can cause issues, because they because of their charisma, may expose problems and use them for their own benefit of gaining even more power. So again, both systems, the natural and unnatural, that Dr. Livingston talks about, do create problems for the idea of scale in a country, but then it also they both do create solutions as well. So guys, I had a great semester. I hope you did too. Hopefully talk to you in a different class. See you soon.